Hello, ladies. It's 12:12. I'm 3 minutes earlier than I thought that I would be. Welcome. I have a sidekick with me today.
I'm the sidekick.
This is my husband. I usually have my computer up on a thing and look down, which looks better when you're...
Well, here, want to stick
But
it on
no,
there?
I'm good. I'm going to keep it this way.
Okay.
So it looks like somebody's with me, but I don't see your name. So this is my husband, Dan. We are formerly the Jan and Dan team.
Yay.
Honey, move up a little bit so that my face doesn't look huge and yours look little.
Well, that would be weird.
Okay. So here, come over this way.
All right.
Come over this way.
Definitely in a yes, dear mode.
Okay.
Yes, dear.
Well, listen, ladies, I have him here. I don't want that light to shine. Hi, Morgan. I don't want this that light to shine, but anyway, Dan is here because he is instrumental to the She's Unstoppable Live conference. It's coming up April 14th. So I said, honey, you're going to come live with me. Hi, Heather. Thanks for joining me. Just to say hello, because you were there last year, and I didn't know if you wanted to say anything or not.
I've never been live on
Right,
Facebook.
you've never been live.
It's like magic.
It's like he's
You
not,
know what?
He's not into social media at all.
So you kind of see yourself backwards. But you know what? I noticed this thing. I have a 1.5-year-old granddaughter, and she scratched me. They have claws. So you can't make fun of me for that.
Honey, nobody's even going to see that.
Okay. Well,
all right.
they will now.
So, honey, I'm going to do a training
Okay.
on biz planning. But hi, Carol. Hi, Mary. Hi, Kia. So do you have anything that you want to say while I'm dealing with...
Well, first of all, the She's Unstoppable Live conference is amazing. And I'm going to remind you that you said I'm instrumental for this because that makes me feel really important.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm working like 12 hours a day on this thing, and it is just coming with a lot of love for you guys. You have to go. I can't think of one reason why somebody wouldn't want to go, a woman, agent, or broker. It's a lot of love is getting poured into this, and the speakers are no joke. Am I looking at the wrong spot?
Yeah, just look here.
I'm going to look down and be creepy. So it's awesome. You got to come. Have fun with Jan on this.
She'sUnstoppableLive.com.
Yeah, go to She'sUnstoppableLive.com. It's awesome. Thanks.
And I just want to say that we extended the early bird rate to January 30th. Hi, Brandy. So that's the lowest rate we're going to offer. So you really want to get in on it.
Yeah.
And
good.
I just found out that my twin sister and I were named trendsetters by RIS Media, RIS Media, and they are kind of a big deal in real estate. So we're excited. And the reason that they chose us as trendsetters was because of the She's Unstoppable Live conference last year, which was held in April. And so this one's held in April this year. And so it got the radar of a large organization. And so we have a PR expert who is just got on board yesterday. So we anticipate even more around the people who are coming, and it's a big opportunity not only to have fun and learn, but you never know if they're going to have a reporter there and they might grab you and speak to you and things like that.
I had fun driving Tracy Tudor and Dottie Herman and Gina Dickerson and Marissa Zanuck and all them around, picking them up from the airport. The speakers are so nice, and they just want to pour into you. And we've got no joke speakers for this year. It's going to be amazing. So yeah. I took like 1 million pictures of everyone last year. Come and I'll take your picture too, I promise.
Yeah, he likes to do that. Okay.
Bye,
honey.
Bye.
All right, ladies. And Carol says, I'm going to be Unstoppable Live. Yay, yay, yay. It's going to be amazing. It was funny because last year we had some ladies who said, you know, I don't want to pay for a room myself. Can I get a roommate? And so we launched a page on Facebook called Unstoppable Tribe, Unstoppable Live Tribe. And so we will start inviting you, ticket holders. There are probably just under 100 of you so far, so that we can do those kinds of things within that group. And they ended up being friends because, you know, you get to room together. So, hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining me. So that was just a little taste of my funny husband. He was a little nervous, but he's really, really funny. And I'm going to have him come on more because he gives me the man perspective on things. It's funny. But what I want you to do is tell me how your week is going so far. Tell me in the comments if there's any particular topic or issue that you're having right now that I can help you with. So feel free to comment anything that you want to. So today we're going to talk about the business plan that's perfect for you. Now, I just had a bonus business planning session for those of you who are either my VIP one-on-one clients or have signed up for the She's Unstoppable Live conference. And so what I decided to do was I'm just going to go over some highlights of that. It was extremely well received. And so I'm going to be going over the highlights of that today. If you want the deep dive and everything that comes along with that, meaning the post biz planning session kind of review, because I offered to review those ladies who attended the actual biz planning session, that once they're finished with their business plan, I will review it and get my comments back to you. Then you want to go ahead and sign up for She's Unstoppable Live at she'sunstoppablelive.com. Mary just told her broker she's leaving. She's going to EXP. Congratulations, Mary. I'm excited for you. Very, very excited for you. Hi, Rebecca. All right, so biz planning. Listen, if you know me and you've been, kind of on this page for a while or known me for a while, I used to be in corporate. When I was in corporate, every year we had to make a business plan and for the department that we were in. And quite frankly, it was a lot of pageantry. It was a lot of working the numbers so that our budgets could be could be maintained and things like that. So the other reason for doing a business plan is entrepreneurs and businesses alike, corporations, want investors and they want to please their shareholders. So it's just a lot of fluff, and I'm not getting into that at all. What we're gonna dive into is that which can actually help you to plan out your year so that, number one, you know exactly where you're going, right? You know what your major goal is. And that helps you prioritize things, because as women, we're constantly, juggling and making sure that this gets done and that gets done, and just so many things that when we have too many priorities, ladies, then in actuality, we have none. And so putting a business plan together actually allows us, it will allow you to be able to say no and be able to say yes. So you want to be able to say yes to the right things and say no to the wrong things, right? And right now, without a plan, you're just like, should I sponsor the kids' softball team or not? Well, if you're my client, you know how I feel about that. But it's really what we need to focus on, right? So my husband used to have a top secret security clearance, and one of the things that he was trained in the military kind of thing is that proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. And how many of you feel stressed out? If you feel at all stressed out right now as you're sitting here, whether live or watching the replay, can you write stressed in the comments? Because I have about 5 to 10 discovery calls per week, every week, except Christmas and Thanksgiving. And I would venture to say that over 90% of the ladies that talk to me are stressed out. And so that's one of the reasons I became a coach and stopped practicing real estate as an agent and team leader and sold my team, because I want us to really enjoy life and harmonize our business with the rest of our lives. So far, one person said stress. Thank you, Uma, for being honest. But proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance, and it also prevents stress. When you plan out and you feel very good about putting the stake in the ground that says, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm not going to do. Ladies, part of business planning is putting you in a proactive role, in a proactive seat in your business, and no longer being reactive. Isn't that exciting? Thank you, Elizabeth and Mary, for saying that you're stressed. So there's 4 things. 4 steps to business planning, of a business plan that you can actually use, that is not just pageantry and something to do, okay? I want you to understand that, again, if you want to go into the deep dive on this, then you either have to become one of my coaching clients or go into she'sunstoppablelive.com and sign up for the amazing conference coming up on April 14th. Your goals are number one, okay? And there's three aspects of your goals that I'm specifically thinking of. It is by this time next year. So in January of 2021, can you believe it? You want to be able to look back and see what? Do you want to start a team? Do you want to grow your team? Do you have a number of families that you would like to help? Do you have a nonprofit in your market that you would like to give X amount of money to? And in order to be able to do that, you need to reach a certain number of closings or a certain volume of sales, right? So what is your overall 2020 goal? That's the first thing. And you might say, okay, how am I going to arrive at that? What you want to do is you want to go into your MLS and you want to pull out your last year, 2019, all your closings. And take your time, ladies. You have to time block this. And say, okay, I had 13 closings. I had 2. I had 50. I had 80, whatever it is. What was the source? Where did I get it? Referral from past client. Open house. Friend, sphere. It was my dentist, whatever. And you go through and you identify where you got your business last year. And then you decide from that, based on not only where you got it from. So if you have Zillow, some of you have Zillow. So you got 30% from Zillow, but you decided that in 2020, you don't want to pay Zillow anymore. Okay, so then that's fine. We're going to be able to get you a path to doing more connecting to make up for the loss of whatever you're giving up, right? Because when you look at your source, you decide which you're going to keep doing and which you're going to get rid of. And quite frankly, ladies, right now, there are probably more things that you should stop doing to keep in mind. Really try to think about things that you can stop doing that are time wasters. Because 80% of your work week needs to be connecting. And this is probably the 100th time I've said that. But it's because I understand the value of repetition. And if you don't have time to get in your database and you don't have time to reach out on Facebook and send text messages that are, hey, your video, and you don't have time to send cards and meet people in your market, then what are you doing? Okay? You might be getting ready to get ready. That's got to stop. Okay? So when you have your 2019 source list of your closings, where'd you get it from? How do you want to move forward? And quite frankly, go back to 2018. What was your source there? What was your best source? And go back to 2017. I would go back 3 years and see how you're trending. Are your best sources remaining the same? Or do you notice that as you are maturing as an entrepreneur, that you're getting better at referrals? And so you're going to really dive deep and maybe put together a VIP or loyalty program, right? Anyway, so 2020 overall goal. Then you want to think about, a couple of years from now. So what's your goal 2 to 3 years from now? And then 5+, 10-year goal, okay? It's good to see where you're going, right? Because if you don't have a plan, then how do you know when to say yes? How do you know when to say no, right? You don't. So that's very important. And then one of the things that I'm really, really big on as a coach that I help my clients do is know their statistics. You need to understand what your average sales price is. So you should know what your average sales price is for 2019 closings, for 2018 closings, 2017 closings, and compare that to your market average sales price. Are you performing above your market average in terms of sales price, or are you performing below? And what's the reason for that, do you think? Hi, Tracy and Emily. Thanks for joining me. And the reason I say that is because the more you understand how you are performing and how your market is performing, the better you are as an entrepreneur, better informed. And so then you're able to make really educated decisions, right? Okay. So you also want to look at statistics, I mean by number of closings. So you want to look at your market for 2019 and say, okay, I'm going to pull up by month in 2019, how many homes sold in my market in 2019 per month? And then same thing for 2018, same thing for 2017. So then you can know your market exceptionally because you know that it's trending, that whatever's happening. Maybe there's more closings of townhomes year over year, but less single family, or vice versa, or condos or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you want to really get to know your MLS statistics, and that will all help you to gain your confidence, which is another big issue that I understand that most women deal with. Women have a couple of issues that I'm kind of charged up with, which is all being resolved at the She's Unstoppable Live conference. And that is that, we downplay our achievements, and our male counterparts put a megaphone out. And so we're going to, and one of the upcoming week's trainings is how to put a megaphone and how to turn up the volume on you and your success. Even if you're a brand new agent, you still have something to put out the megaphone about you, okay? And I'm going to share that with you. Second thing that women have, the difference between men and women is that we women are more perfectionists. And in fact, some of us perceive that as being a good thing. But the problem with that is that when a man has an idea 20% ready, he'll launch. A woman, and I got this from Psychology Today, a woman has to be 80% plus ready in order for a woman to launch. And ladies, in this competitive market that we find ourselves in, we must be speed to market. Okay, speed to market. You know how if you are receiving leads, your broker will say speed to lead, meaning the faster you reach out to that lead, the higher your percentage of getting them to use you and turn into a client. Well, it's also speed to market with ideas. You don't want to come up with a phenomenal idea and then overthink it to death, because that is not going to work. So really, what's the vision for you as a realtor? That's the bottom line. When you get that vision of who you want to be as a realtor, how you want to show up, from there, you have your big 2020 goal. And from there, we're going to, we deep dive into what that means as far as where you're going to really focus for growing your audience, for engaging your audience, both online and in person in your market. So number 2 is just that. How are you going to brand yourself? Because every year is a new opportunity. I like to tell this story, and she might be on here. She's my former title company. I know she follows me, but she was the title company salesperson, okay? And love her to death. And so my local realtor association gave annual awards. I'm sure yours does as well, I would think, right? Well, I was on that committee, and she had asked if I would recommend her for Affiliate of the Year. Absolutely, okay? So myself and one other person, who was the other top agent in the market, submitted this particular woman and title company for Affiliate of the Year. And I thought it'd be a slam dunk, because from my purview, she was amazing. And the other lady who was a top agent, she and I were both in agreement with that. Well, when we got to the Affiliate of the Year and the lady read off the options, everybody cracked up laughing when we got to her name. And I was like, what the heck, is this a joke? Like, she's amazing, right? And they're like, she never comes to any of the affiliate meetings. She never sponsors any event for the realtors. Like, is she kidding me? So of course somebody else got Affiliate of the Year. Well, you might think, oh my gosh, that poor lady, right? Well, when I had lunch with her, And I told her what happened in a very sweet way. Do you know what she did? Man, she leaned in. She not only sponsored one event, she just said, I want to sponsor the next 6 events. And she put her money where her mouth was. And not only just money and sponsoring, she showed up. And so ladies, why am I sharing this? Hi, Jan. Thanks for joining me. Why am I sharing this story? Because we're talking about the number 2 aspect of business planning, and that is deciding how you're going to show up. How are you going to show up? You know, it's not what you do as much as it is how you're thinking when you do it. In other words, if you are networking somewhere and there's 6 or 7 other realtors and you dread if someone says, what do you do? That's a problem. Because if you don't have the right thought about what you're doing and what you're going to say, well, then obviously that's going to come through. So what we have to really do is identify what kind of realtor we want to be and how we're going to present that, right? So that's part of your business plan, all right? And by the way, I've used this word before, putting it out on a megaphone, turning the volume up, right? I'm only going to wear pink, white, and or blingy. So I'm turning up the volume. I was going to wear pink hats all the time, but I don't know in the middle of summer if I'm going to feel like putting on a pink hat. But each market is saturated. And so you have to be something different. You have to be loud and proudly you. And it could be, that's something silly that I'm going to wear pink. But if you're in your market, you could always carry around something. Okay, you could always be the purse lady that always has the biggest purse or the loudest purse or something. I don't know. Or you could get this crazy huge name badge. I don't know. Or big glasses or big earrings that you're always going to wear. Something that would tell that you would be easily seen. It's not as hard as you think. It's really not as hard as you think. It's how are you going to show up, and then where are you going to show up? So I believe that you need to have an online show up strategy and an in-person show up strategy. So, are you going to be diving into Facebook, or are you into millennials and you're going to jump over to Instagram? Okay, or you want to deal with business people, and so you're going to be on Facebook, but you're really going to dive in this year to LinkedIn. Or the power of video, and so you're going to go live like I'm doing right now on your business page, because that's what I'm doing. Okay, and then you're going to load the weekly trainings, or in your case, it really wouldn't be training. It could be, you could do a training series on if you're thinking about buying, right? And if you're thinking about selling, you could do any number of videos. I think if you were in my Make the Videos challenge of about a month ago, I had given you 100 plus video ideas. So it could be a training series that you do when you go live on your business page, or it could be something interviewing a local business or a market update or whatever. But the point is that you are going to decide in your business plan where you're going to show up online and how often. Okay? Because once you have that skeleton or that framework, then you can make good decisions, right? All right. So here's a mind blow for you that if you've been watching me for a while, it won't sound new, but again, repetition is very important. Right now, in each of your markets, whether you're with me live or going to watch the replay, there are 5 to 7 people in your market who are looking for you right now, and they can't find you. I came up with that when over and over again, my clients would say, oh my gosh, why didn't I find you earlier? And it was my fault, right? So likewise, there are people who are in your market that maybe 3 months from now, they know they're going to buy. And they're kind of doing their due diligence, they'll check out Zillow. So do you have a Zillow profile? They'll check out, they'll Google best agent in insert name of town. And they can't find you. but they would have the very best experience with you. Do you believe that? Because you really need to believe that. When I started believing that, then my business, which was always around 150, 170, something like that, went exponentially. It doubled and then went over 5, and then it just kept on going. Because ladies, it's the confidence factor. And so when you have this business plan, these components, and you know where you're going, and you know how you're going to present yourself, and you know where you're going to show up, and you know where you're not going to show up, you alleviate that pressure, then you become found. You put yourself out there in the right places. And so the focus is not, where am I going to get my next client? That seems very defensive. It seems very salesy, right? It doesn't feel comfortable for ladies. Whereas when we say, okay, I know that I'm different. This is you talking. I know that I'm different. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I give exceptional service. Because once I have a client, I'm good and they like me. But my problem is I can't find clients. Then stop looking for clients. See? Stop looking. Instead, put yourself out there. Make more videos. Make more connection with local people, local business owners. Put collaborations together, right? Have impromptu invitations on your personal page. Hey, I'm going to be Friday night. I'm going to be at happy hour, or I'm going to be at Mission Barbecue, or wherever I'm going to be, and for the first 5 families that come in, I'm going to buy your dinner. I want to get to know you. I want to hang out. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Salesy's gone forever when you dig in deep like that and know your branding, right? Okay, so we got to stop making it hard and stop being on the couch. So are you on the couch or in your house too much? Get up and get ready. Get up and get ready. Or are you planning to get ready, and you've been talking about getting ready and you got to just go? Or are you babysitting the deals that you have? So you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 under contract, and instead of getting ready and getting out of the house and showing up and doing video and really putting yourself out there, you're babysitting your deals. Those are the 3 main reasons why you're you don't have an influx and a good pipeline built, because you're stopping the flow. But I want you to continue the flow, right? So I want you to just be honest and think about, when's the last time you connected, and I mean really connected, either in person or via social media or even text, with your sphere, with your past clients. It's perfect time. It's January. It's a brand new year. Wish them a happy new year. If they bought or sold with you last year, get them a copy of their closing disclosure, or if there was a cash transaction, the copy of their HUD, because they'll need it for itemization of taxes, right? Think about it. Who will you connect with consistently this year, online and in person? And that's a decision that goes in your business plan. Number 3, your chosen marketing, specifically what you're committed in order to get yourself out there. So the 2 are related, your brand and how you're going to put yourself out there, how you're going to present yourself. And then the marketing is where and how often, right? And what's your message? You know, I used to think many, many, many years ago, is this you? I used to think those big groups and teams that put out there the guarantee that if your house doesn't sell, we'll buy it. I'm like, I'm at a disadvantage because I can't do that. Yes, you can, because there are parameters and terms with those guarantees. So each and every one of you, even if you're brand new and never even closed a deal in your life, you could tout a seller guarantee such as that if the house doesn't sell, I'll buy it. You're never going to have to buy it. You protect yourself by putting the right terms in place. And I used to be a relocation agent. I was trained and everything else. And then my broker would take like 60% of the commission. And then I was like, screw that, I'm done with this. So then I got smart and I came up with my own heroes or relocation program. Okay, because that's the neat thing about being an entrepreneur, ladies. And that's what your business plan will help you do. Figure out, how do I want to put myself out there? How am I going to elevate my marketing to be, that's the one, right? Having a hot flash. When you're younger, believe me, you don't know what you're in for. Okay, now before I go on to number 4, as we finish up here, I do want to just share with you that, I talked a lot about online, but you do have to decide where you're going to show up in your market. And I firmly believe that you have to show up somewhere in your market at least twice a month to be effective. So, so if there's a networking event that's only once a month, that's not going to cut it for you. Okay. I'm not saying it's not effective at all, because it has some level of effectiveness, and especially if you understand that when you network, the gold actually happens after the networking event, when you ask 2 or 3 people that you really resonated with and connected with to meet you outside of that meeting. So once a month can be effective if you know how to network properly and really dig into that. But otherwise, I really think that the twice per month, which is 24 times a year, when you go religiously no matter what, is your best bet. So I just wanted to share that with you, that, whether it's a nonprofit that you want to really help on a committee or something that you feel near and dear to your heart, or if you, like to read books and there's a book club, make sure that whatever you commit to in your business plan to move your business forward this year, that it meets at least twice a month. Okay? All right, number 4, your financials. Ladies, we are entrepreneurs. Now, I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again. Please don't call yourself self-employed. Did you really just want to give yourself a job? Or do you want to be an entrepreneur? A person who owns their own business, who is empowered, who is excited, who is creative and innovative, right? You're an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, it's more than just making money, right? It's giving back to your community, and it's knowing your financials, because you don't want to, make a lot of money and end up with none left, right? So it's about profit, and it's about working smart. If you've seen some of my other videos, I talk about how when women agents come to me and they say, I hate listings, don't even talk to me about being a listing agent because it's nothing but headaches. Well, that's because they take overpriced listings, and we uncover that. And there's boundaries and there's standards that you set so that you become that really smart entrepreneur, that you're not wasting money, you're not wasting time, you're not going to put yourself in precarious situations where you have a seller beating you. Why aren't I having enough showings? Why aren't you bringing me an offer? Well, it's your fault. You took an overpriced listing, and that's a problem. So anyway, that's another thing to understand about financials, because if you're a great listing agent, you have professional photography, and maybe you have a styling inventory, or you assist with having a stager come in, this is money. And you don't want to just be wasting money when you know that it's overpriced or it doesn't show well. And on the other side, when you're working with buyers, financials are important, because you don't want to just be, you're not a shower of houses. Okay, you don't get paid to show houses. You work with serious buyers on a mission to homeownership, period. And there's a way to qualify buyers, as opposed to when they call you and say, I want to see 123 Main Street. Great, thank God I found a potential client. I'll show it to you in 2 seconds. That is scarcity, and that does not work. And I'm convinced that's why 87% of agents leave the business. Okay? So there's 3 aspects to financials. Number 1, it's not about the revenue, it's about profit. So that every month you should be able to see what your closings, brought in, and then what your expenses were and where your profit lies. All right? Having a monthly budget. What are your fixed expenses? Maybe, like I know with EXP, they have to pay $85 a month to be with EXP. So you have, and if you're with Remax, maybe you have a desk fee or something. So what are your fixed expenses? Boom, 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 boom. What are your variable expenses? Printing, if you decide to do a mailer, and different things like that. And then paying taxes as you go, ladies. You have to pay taxes as you go, because otherwise Uncle Sam is not going to be pleasant, and you're going to pay exorbitant interest fees and late fees and all kinds of things. But I want to ask you, what are you working hard for? What are you working hard for? Hey, look, if you're like me, if I didn't need the money for retirement and for my goals, then I would not be working. I mean, I love what I do. Please don't misunderstand me. But I have 2 grandbabies and 3 kids, and a husband. So if I didn't need to work, or if I didn't have goals that I need, to work for, then I wouldn't be working. But when you're doing a business plan, you really need to think about, what am I working for? Seriously. What is this money that's coming in? What is the feeling of achievement that I achieve? What are these things doing for me? What are these things doing for my family? And really, that's what this business plan is all about. So those are the 4 steps. We ended with financials, the marketing, where you're going to put yourself out there and how often, then your brand, okay, and then your goals. So number 1, you start with your goals. So I've been on here for 36 minutes. I ran over a little bit, but I thank you for joining me. What I'd love to have you do is I would love to have you, give me a thumbs up and give me a comment in here if this has been at all valuable to you. Hi, Charity. How you doing? Tell me in the comments if this has been valuable. So if it's been valuable, write the word valuable. If you have a question, write it, because I'm going to hang on the line for another minute, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you put in there. You are welcome, Uma. Thank you for interacting with me today. So if anybody has questions or if it's been valuable, Elizabeth, absolutely valuable. Thank you. You are welcome, Elizabeth. Okay, let's see. Another 30 seconds. I really like to know feedback. And what happens is some of us are shy, and then I get Facebook messages, and that's totally fine. I welcome you to interact with me. I'm almost at 5,000 friends, so otherwise I would always say, friend me, friend me, friend me, but I've said that for years, and now I'm almost at my friend limit. Okay, thank you, Cynthia, Uma, and Mary. Okay, excellent. Any questions? All righty. Well, ladies, it's always a pleasure. I will be back here next Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and I wish you all an amazing day. Bye.